Welcome to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Girls Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. I'm Dawn Morgan along with TJ Miracle, Jonathan running camera for us tonight, and Tiff Stuber in the studio engineering and producing and watching out for us. So thank you very much for joining us, and it's just about time to find out who the fairest of them all is, at least in district play for 4-5A. It's the district tournament and the championship game, as the Hobbs Lady Eagles earned a bye right into the championship title game tonight by virtue of winning the regular season district. In fact, they finished perfect 6-0 and 23-3 on the season. And Carlsbad comes in having just squeaked past Clovis 35-33 last night at the Cave. And of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles defeated Carlsbad last week at the Cave to get here in this title game. They beat Carlsbad 63-26 at the Cave on the 24th to win the regular season district title. So, TJ, some might think that, wow, Hobbs has been off all week. They're just going to be fresh and rested, and it's just great. And Carlsbad has had to play, a game last night, just yesterday, and it was a battle, and they barely won, and now they're traveling and they're here. Of course, that was Thursday night, not yesterday, but Thursday. And wow, Hobbs girls have the advantage. Well, yes and no. If you talk to Coach Carpenter, he's a coach who likes to keep his girls active, and a whole week of no games to play against an opponent is not what he likes. He would probably rather have had his girls playing on Thursday, just a couple of days ago, to get here to tonight. But they're here, and the Hobbs girls have had extra time to make sure everybody is healthy and rested and ready to play for the district title championship. It's no question that the Hobbs girls are going to move on, of course, into the state playoffs. They're ranked number 1 in state 5A in girls basketball.
Well, they are, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes you can run into a little bit of rust when you haven't played for a week. And, I know that Coach Carpenter, as you mentioned, would like for them to have had at least a game between then and now, but that's not the case with the way the schedules and everything work out anymore. But, got to be careful, because Carlsbad is going to be coming in fired up. They're playing with house money. They're number 12 right now. They're pretty sure they are going to get a seat at the table. It'll be one of those lower seeds, but they know they're in. For Carlsbad, they're going to be looking to up their seed a little bit, and they're going to be looking to send a message to the rest of the state that, hey, we are not a team to be messed with. And so they're a team with really nothing to lose and everything to gain tonight. These teams have played each other. This will be the third time, as you mentioned, winning 63-26 last week, Hobbs winning 58-22 earlier in the season. And really the next two games, this game and the first round of the playoffs, can be trap games for a lot of teams. I don't know that it necessarily will be for the Lady Eagles, but when you get into a game where you've already beaten your opponent twice, and in this case twice pretty badly, and you might be thinking, we got this. You just kind of sit back and you come out and you don't have it that night. And the other team has everything going. And then next week, Hobbs will be number 1, probably 1 or 2. And they'll be playing a much, much, much lower seed like Alamogordo or Roswell or Las Cruces or Las Lunas. And they could be like, we got this. We're going to start looking forward to who we're going to be playing in Albuquerque. And then all of a sudden you look at them and go, what happened? So, there is a lot on the line. And Hobbs is going to need to come out sharp tonight. We were talking about this on the way up here. This is the third time that Hobbs will be playing Carlsbad. This is the 5th time, though, that we will have seen them from our various games across the county, with 2 games against Lovington earlier this year. This Carlsbad team is not a team that is going to just dazzle you with their offensive skills, but they are going to try and flummox you and slow you down and kind of beat you up and beat you down on the defensive side of thing. They're a team that definitely uses their defense to set up their offense, and they want to have, games that are 32-25, 35-30. They thrive in games like that, and if they can come out and if they can flummox Hobbs' offense, and if Hobbs is even the least little bit off, especially early, Carlsbad might be thinking, hey, we might can do this.
they have the Carlsbad team has some size and some presence, and they're not afraid to use the muscle, and as you said, to be very physical in games. And I would imagine that game against Clovis, who also is a physical team, was just a bruise fest, especially, you know, with it being a 2-point game, you know, at the end, a 2-point victory for Carlsbad. So yes, we have seen these the Carlsbad team, but having said that, all of a sudden, if they're trying to break your press, they can you know, throw down quickly and move in and try to you know, beat you on that, try to break your press, and they're capable of playing at a higher pace and a better pace. And in the game last time the Hobbs Carlsbad played, Carlsbad's coach Matt Enlow, he substituted quite frequently in. Now he's got a couple of girls that stay in and play most of the game, but he really did try to keep fresh legs in there in order to try to match up better, you know, against the Hobbs girls, who just play a very, if they're able to set the pace, it's a very fast one, and they really are less physical in terms of, you know, muscle and using their size to advantage. They rely a lot more on speed, quickness, finesse, forcing turnovers, aggressive, you know, defense, playing tight, and that's their style. And if they can come out and set that pace and play their style of game and get up early, then it shouldn't be a problem. From being up, they should be able to stretch it out and then end up winning comfortably. But they have to. That's if. That's certainly what we've seen in the past, what we expect to see tonight. But that's why you play the games. You don't just look at the results from previous games and say, okay, we're just going to declare so and so the winner and move on. You know, skip this game. You got to play it. You got to play it.
And upsets do happen. So again, you're absolutely right. That's why you play the game. Now, looking down at the Hobbs Lady Eagles warming up, I do notice that there is no Jayla David tonight.
Okay.
She is not down on the court warming up, and really she and Kendall Cunningham and I guess Katie Godwin too. She's seen limited time. They really comprise the Lady Eagles' inside strength.
Right.
Now that's not to say that you know, Brett Clay or Arliana Armitage or any of the other girls, if they find a seam, can go to the rack and go to the hole and go quite quickly.
You bet.
But without David, they have a little bit more limited, intimidating presence underneath.
Yeah, they have fewer options, and as a team, they still have several options, which is great because the Hobbs girls are so deep, and that's one of their strengths is their depth, and they don't have just one or even two players that they completely rely on in certain positions, in certain configurations. So their depth and their ability to just work in and have another girl step up and into a somewhat different role than what maybe she played in the last game. That is, or even in the previous quarter or half, that's one of the strengths for the Hobbs girls. So, yes, without Jayla David tonight, and we certainly hope maybe this is just a game where she's, again, taking deep breaths. She had been recovering over the last, couple of months from an injury and just getting, and then had gotten sick. And so we think that probably, hopefully, this just means that she is taking, an extra game and a little extra time to get completely 100% back on her feet, because next week is when the Lady Eagles are definitely going to be, they're going to need to be 100% across the board to really have all their firepower, all their tools, all of their strengths, and be just playing lights out as much as they can. Really, they need to have a good, strong game and make the win tonight, of course, but next week is the do or die, must win to move on into the state tournament game, and that's the one where the pressure is really, really going to be on them.
Well, it is. After tonight, it's win or go home. And
right.
It's just that simple. First round of the playoffs, or when you get to the Elite Eight, which starts the Albuquerque portion of the playoffs. So for the Lady Eagles, yeah, it's really they're in win or go home time now. Now, let's be honest, they could drop tonight's game, and it wouldn't make one bit of difference. They will be number one or number two, or should be. I have learned never, ever, ever try and put the crystal ball, tune it in too crystal clearly
That's right.
on what the Max Preps rankings and how the NMAA does the playoff seedings with strengths of schedule, Max Preps rankings, coaches
metrics.
polls, who you've beaten, when you've beaten them, how you've beaten them, are they district champs?
A lot of metrics in that formula.
There is, and that is to try to make things as fair as possible, and we'll just leave it right there, because I can already tell you I think in the first round for all of Lee County's teams and all of southern New Mexico's and southeast New Mexico, especially all of our districts, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of district matchups up and down the rankings when it gets to playoff time next week.
When it gets to that first play-in game to the state tournament, do or die time. So we'll take a break and be back. We'll run down the rosters for you, look at the starters, and continue to get you ready for the tip-off of this one in less than 8 minutes. But we'll be back in just a couple right here, back to Tasca Arena for more Hobbs girls basketball on Hobbs 422, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. Welcome back to Tasca Arena for Hobbs girls basketball. It is your district tournament championship game here, and it's Hobbs versus Carlsbad. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle, and Jonathan is running camera tonight, so we're here and ready and looking down. We talked a moment ago about that last game that Hobbs, when Hobbs beat Carlsbad last week to win the regular season district title, and in that game, I'm not sure that Abby Dugan ever took a break. If I remember right, I think she played the entire game, and she's certainly, I think, probably the overall best player on Carlsbad's team. They've got several good players. That's not to take away anything from anybody else, but Abby certainly is well-rounded and does a lot for them. So I'm sure she is definitely among the starters tonight, but in all of the subbing in, keeping fresh legs, I think Abby may have played that entire game. Tonight, of course, let's run down the entire roster for Carlsbad and then Hobbs for you. Number 0 is Kendra Ortega, and number 1 is Cameron Zumbrun. Number 2 is Mia Payanis. 3 is Hayden Brose. 12 is Abby Dugan. 14 is Serena Carrasco. 21 is Macy Garcia. 22 is Talia Payanis. Number 23, Faith Klusner. 30 is Corrine Bradford. 32 is Tanisha Green, 33 is Samantha Oliver, 50 is Jasmine Gonzalez, and 52 is Rebecca Brown. And they are under head coach Matt Enlow. For your Hobbs Lady Eagles, number 4, Madison Cepeda. Number 10, Kylie Cano. Number 12, Aliana Armitage. Number 14, Brett Clay. Number 15, Nakaya Mojica. Number 20, Bryn Hargrove. Number 22, Kendall Cunningham. Number 23, Jayla David. Number 24, Carolina Seiss. Number 33, Caitlin Manise. 34 is Alana Bolton. And 55 is Katie Godwin. Of course, under head coach Joe Carpenter. And he is assisted by Kina Gill, Frankie Seiss, Sydney Hill, and S. Ornelas. And your starters for Carlsbad tonight are going to be number 1, Zumbrun, number 12, Dugan, number 14, Carrasco, number 30, Bradford, and number 50, Gonzalez. Your starters for Hobbs tonight will be number 12, Alian Armitage, 14, Brett Clay, 15, Nakaya Mojica, number 20, Bryn Hargrove, and number 22, Kendall Cunningham. With the absence of Jayla David in this game, Aliana Armitage has taken her place as a starter when Jayla has not been in the game. And as you noticed, TJ, it doesn't appear that she's suited out. She may be here, but we don't see her at all right now, and she I don't believe is over on the bench with the team. So we think it's probably just, hopefully, that just a getting healthy, making sure she's completely healthy for next week and the rest of the state tournament bid, we hope. So getting ready for this one here in just about less than 2 minutes, well, less than 3 minutes now. We'll take a break coming up for the national anthem and the introduction of players. But as we head into what will be the tip-off in just a couple of minutes. So what do you think are going to be the most important things for the Lady Eagles in this game?
For the Lady Eagles tonight, I think the most important thing is going to be establish your game early. Make the visiting Cavegirls play your pace, play your tempo, play your speed. Just play your game. You know you can come out. You know you can press. You know you can run. Don't be afraid to take the shots, and the Lady Eagles 99.999% of the time is not. So come out, play your game, establish your rhythm, and you'll be just fine. And if Carlsbad can come out and they can disrupt that rhythm, that's got to be their game plan tonight. That's simple.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And it's not like they don't, have a game plan against Hobbs, and it hasn't been tweaked as they've faced each other twice now, and they've come out on the losing end. So they have a better opportunity to learn from that and to have looked back on the games and to have seen, hey, is there any place where we've made more impact, and been able to break the press or, get in there and penetrate the lane better and get the shots up, or what has worked and what hasn't. They're able to look back at those games just the same as Hobbs and look and see what adjustments they might make or things that they might try, strategies that they might employ to try to disrupt the Hobbs Lady Eagles game. And of course, tonight's the perfect time to do it. The pressure is really off, them completely in terms of, well, they know they're probably going, they're going to get a playoff bid. It's just about who wants the district tournament title more and is willing to go out and do what you have to do to go ahead and win tonight to move on in the, for sure, number one role coming out of this district.
Well, absolutely. And if you're Hobbs, you want to keep up the number one role coming in to state overall too. So that's on the line tonight for Hobbs. So.
True. So it's not like there's not any pressure. There's always game pressure, especially when you want to win the game. But in terms of, less to lose, well, Carlsbad really, in a way, actually, they have more to lose because they're looking at, trying to improve their seed in the state tournament. And the higher you are, I don't think that they're going to be able to get high enough to have a home game next week.
No, I wouldn't think so.
That's not realistic for them. But certainly, any higher seed that they can do to play a lower seed game to try to improve their chance of winning next week is what they want to do as well here. So, and the girls are all back out on the court, so we will take a break and have the national anthem, the school song, and the introduction of players, and then we will get this game tipped off. This is your District 4-5A tournament title game going on here at Tasker Arena. We'll be back with more on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. Welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs girls basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. I'm Dawn Morgan alongside TJ Miracle, and Jonathan is running camera for us tonight. And we are just about ready to get this one tipped off. It is your District 4-5A Tournament Championship game, and it has ended up being a pretty healthy crowd. I was very afraid that this being a Saturday evening, that the ladies Eagles would not have, good support in terms of fans here, but it is good. The student section is noticeably light, but the bottom stands are filled up pretty well. It looks like Carlsbad has traveled with quite a few fans as well, so we expect a good, loud, noisy game tonight here in Tasker Arena. This is not going to be the last home game for the Hobbs girls. They should be here next weekend, probably Friday night, for the first game of the state tournament, the play-in game that you must win. And the tip-off is done. Hobbs wins it. Armitage with the ball gets it over to Mojica. Mojica gets it. A shot up and no good, but Cunningham with the rebound, her first. Gets it back out to Armitage, now to Mojica, top of the arc. She's going to pull back. Just add some O. Move it over to Armitage on the right. Then to Clay, top of the arc. Clay thinking about it, gets it over to Hargrove. Hargrove thinks about the three, has somebody in her face, passes to Cunningham. Cunningham out to Armitage. Armitage takes a shot right on the right wing, and it's no good. And that's Abby Dugan, I believe, with the rebound. Again, Carlsbad is in their road blues with black numbers, and they're very hard to pick up. Those numbers may as well be invisible from up here, for me at least. So.
Yeah, no, and I believe that next season those uniforms like that become
a
not
battle
acceptable.
Between Dugan and Armitage wins it, steals the ball, drives in the lane, runs out of room, and does a bounce pass to Clay, and it goes out of bounds, but it's off of the hands or off of the body of a Carlsbad person, so Hobbs has got it. The inbound to Cunningham, she puts up a shot point blank, it won't go. Then she's going to try to pass out. I believe she was going to try to find Mojica and just misses the pass and throws the ball away. So turnover for Hobbs. Give it to Carlsbad. They will inbound just to the right of the Hobbs basket. Clay on her, and Armitage steals the inbound and then get it stolen right away. So the teams trade turnovers.
Two now for each team.
Yeah, Dugan running the point for Carlsbad. Moves it over to the left to Bradford. Bradford getting worked on hard by Mojica. Runs into the lane and runs into Armitage, who takes the ball away. So third turnover for Carlsbad. Armitage kicks it to Clay. Clay tries a shot from the right corner. It won't fall. Fight for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. I think last touch by Hargrove. Yes, it was. So Hobbs with the teams now have three turnovers apiece. And a quick timeout taken. I think Coach Carpenter not liking what he sees. And we will just keep it here because it's a 30-second timeout. So no score on the board yet. And that's unusual, as Hobbs has had 4 looks at the basket now.
Yeah, 4 or 5, and they just haven't made anything happen. Now, some of that is going to be credited to Carlsbad. They've done a nice job staying very tight on the Lady Eagles and taking out their lanes to the hoop, and also going in and, doing a nice job guarding them for the most part on the perimeter. Hobbs, so far, just a little bit cold, and I think Coach Carpenter wanting to light a little bit of a fire there.
So Carlsbad will inbound to the right of the Hobbs basket. They do a long inbound and to Dugan. Dugan trying to take it to the hoop, gets the ball taken away from her and pushed out by Nakaya Mojica. Nice job for Nakaya, catching up with Dugan and breaking up the momentum of that play. Carlsbad will have the ball. They'll inbound just to the left of their basket. A bounce pass into Dugan. Dugan backs up, tries to put it in, and she should travel. I was going to say they should call her for travel because she backed up and then she took a step forward. So make that the fourth turnover for Carlsbad. Give it to Hobbs.
She doesn't travel, though. Carlsbad goes up 2-0.
And Hobbs needs to and will try to be the first on the board here with this possession. Hargrove on the right wing to Cunningham, back to Hargrove, drives across the lane, then passes it to Clay. Clay in the left corner, gives it back to Hargrove. Hargrove pops the three from the left corner, and Hobbs is in business.
And good movement as Clay got it and then gave it immediately back to Hargrove, and as Dugan went with Clay, Hargrove wide open.
Yeah, Hobbs really faked him out on that one, and that's probably going to be a tool that they need to use throughout the game. Dugan with the ball, trying to run the point, and loses the handle on it. Pops up, and that is Mohiku. Takes it away, gets it to Hargrove. Hargrove drives in, tries a bit of a shot. It won't fall, and fighting for the rebound. Cunningham trying to get it, but it goes off of her hands and out of bounds. So, again, give it over to Carlsbad. Mohica's going to come out, and Size goes in. The inbound to Dugan. Dugan still trapped in the backcourt. Getting worked on by Hargrove. And now finally across the timeline over to the left. Again, Hargrove still tight on her. Dugan moves it all the way around to the right. Leaves it off for Gonzalez. She picks it up and loses the handle on it, and the ball ends up on the floor, and fighting for it is Clay, who forces a jump ball. The arrow goes the way of Carlsbad, though. It's the first jump ball. So the next jump ball will go Hobbs' way. And the inbound goes out to Zumbrun, out near the timeline, getting worked on by Cunningham. Passes off to Dugan. Then a pass into Bradford. A little turnaround jumper in the lane doesn't work, and Cunningham skies for her second rebound. Working the boards as third, and is going to be incumbent upon the Hobbs girls. She takes it all the way down, tries to put up a shot, doesn't fall, gets her own rebound, and puts it up and in. So she's got 2 points, and the Lady Eagles are up 5-0 with 4:50 left to play. Coming back the other way very quickly. A shot up and no good from Carlsbad. A fight for it, and coming up with it is Clay. She's gonna move down and try to put up a shot from the left, and is going to be bumped into. They're gonna call that foul as she gets hip checked in a big way, and they call the block foul, and they're gonna put that up in just a moment so that we can all see.
I think it's gonna be on Bradford.
But I don't want to say until if they ever put it up. I think the scorekeeper over there is double checking to see who the ref indicated that it was going to be on. No, it's going to be on Bros. Wow, okay. So, first foul. Hobbs inbounds, of course. And Hargrove looking to, turned around, going to pass in the lane to Clay. And Clay not there and not ready. But it goes, luckily, it goes off of the shirt, basically.
And they do change that foul to Bradford, just FYI.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Because it was saying 3. But then, and I was thinking, well, I don't even think Bros is on the court, so.
And then Size immediately pops the tray, so Hobbs up 8-0 early.
Yeah, very nice. As good work to stay engaged down there, even though, Hobbs just a little rusty, you might say. They're knocking off some rust, and so it's good that they stay engaged and just try other avenues. So they're up 8-0 now. Carlsbad inbounding. They get it to Dugan across the timeline center court, getting worked on by Hargrove. Over to Bradford. Bradford passes over on the right wing. Not sure who that is. I think that's Brown. And then to Zumbrun. And now Tanisha Green in the game for Carlsbad. Then passing in the lane, trying to find somebody. It goes over the head and into the hands of Clay. Clay passes out to Hargrove, top of the arc. Over to Size, back to Hargrove. Thinks about the 3, then drives in, then kicks it out to Armitage on the right wing. Armitage pops the net. Nothing but net for Armitage, and Aliana makes it 11-0. Hobbs on a good roll now. Carlsbad now with the ball, still in the backcourt. Dugan's got it, getting worked on by Clay. Now finally across the timeline. She's trying to draw Clay in to foul her, I think. She's normally a lot smoother, but Dugan is working in a real choppy style, sort of moving forward and then back and moving forward and back, and I think she's trying to draw Clay into her to foul her. It's not working so far.
There's a turnover and then a whole lot of Hobbs subs coming into the ball game.
You bet.
Getting some fresh legs out there for the Lady Eagles.
6 turnover, I believe, for Carlsbad. Is that right? 7th now. Wow. And 4 for Hobbs?
3.
Okay. 11-0. And it is Nakai Mojica with the ball, driving in, kicks it out to, and Zepeda traveled. Yes, she did. She probably should have just stayed put. She took the ball and then was moved to her left to get just a little bit better shot. But by the time she did that, the Carlsbad player was out of her way anyway.
Yeah,
she had clean air in front of her.
Yeah, tried to sidestep Carrasco, and unfortunately when she slid, slid everything.
So give the ball over. Dugan's got it. Center court. Getting worked on by Manice now in the game for Hobbs. Passes to Tanisha Green. She has to keep it from going into the backcourt. Over to Zumbrun. Now in the lane trying to find her. Tanisha Green picks it up, and then a bounce pass gets picked off. Zepeda turns it up. Zepeda drives in, gets it to Mojica. Mojica on the right wing, gets it to Manice in the right corner. Carlsbad quickly trying to move in and guarding the Hobbs shooters, and the ones they know especially are good at shooting the threes. They give it to Clay. She drives in from the left side and misses the point-blank layup. Just does not fall, and that is Brown with the rebound.
And that is just the second rebound for Carlsbad in the first quarter.
Yeah, Dugan had the other one, and Dugan's got the ball running the point now. Leaves it off for Zumbrun on the left. Zepeda on her tight. She's going to work it around the arc to the left, kick it out. I believe that's Bradford.
It is.
And then to Dugan in the right corner. Hobbs quickly double teams her and pushes the ball, and that's going to be, I believe, Manice, who steals it, takes it to the hoop, up and in. So Manice with 2 points and makes it 13-0. Carlsbad still not on the board, and Coach Enlow wants to take a timeout. It's going to be a 30. We're just going to keep it right here. 1:36 left in this first quarter, and your score is 13-0. Hobbs with a slow start, but Carlsbad with an even slower start. And a lot of back and forth in this game, and a lot of turnovers already for these two teams. Hobbs, uncharacteristic to find, 5 turnovers for Hobbs already?
4 turnovers right now for Hobbs and 9 for Carlsbad.
Yeah.
And, Hobbs did come out a little bit slow. It took them about 2.5 minutes to kind of get their legs under them, but since then, they seem to have found a little something. They've gone on this 13-0 run. So right now, things looking good, but it is not out of reach just yet.
No, and this is kind of what Coach Carpenter talked about at the end after the Carlsbad game in Carlsbad last week with me. He talked about how that's why he doesn't like a whole week off of not playing a game, of just practicing. Is this situation, you come in against a team and it takes a while to get your sea legs back under you. And after the inbound, there's a foul called, and it's on the floor. It's on Zepeda. It's her first team foul for Hobbs in this quarter, which is almost over. They give it to Green. She goes across the timeline right side with some speed, but then pulls up. Zepeda on her. Gets it to Dugan. Dugan, top of the arc. Then over to Bradford, who stops. Takes a shot. It does not fall. And wow, what a good rebound that was from Cunningham. Gives it to Clay. Clay takes it down coast to coast all the way, puts it up and in. So she's on the board with 2 points as well. Makes it 15-0 now. As Clay all over Dugan. Carlsbad still in the backcourt. Looking for room. Carlsbad very unhappy. They wanted a foul earlier than that.
And they got a 10-second violation instead. So turnover, give it to Hobbs.
And that's turnover number 8, I believe.
10
now for Carlsbad. Wow. Need to write those down a little bit better. So 53.6 seconds left, and instead of fouls, Hobbs gets the ball, and Clay gets it, goes to the hoop, takes it up. It doesn't fall, but she gets fouled in the process, and they're going to call that on Brown. That's the second team foul on Carlsbad, and it will put Clay at the line. First trip at the line for either team, I believe. And it goes up and rolls out. No good. So a miss, but she has another chance at it. She's got 2 points and a rebound in the game so far. Again, we are less than a minute to go in this first quarter. Second one up and beautiful. Finds the bottom of the net. She's got 3 points in the game. Makes it 16. Should be 16-0 now when they put that point up on the
They've been a little off on the scoreboard tonight. They'll get there.
It should be 16-0. Carlsbad inbounding. Dugan bounce pass over to, I think that's actually Carrasco. Oh, and a pass taken away as Manice gets it Ooh, nice steal. And then gets it stolen right back, but Zepeda with it. The ball loose on the court, and coming up with it is Manice. She gets it to Mojica. Mojica tries to pop one from top of the arc. It doesn't fall, and Manice gets the rebound, but then it's taken away. Carlsbad looking to pass it, and it goes off. It's a good hustle. Cunningham and Hargrove over there, or Zepeda over there. Carlsbad inbounds right in front of the scorer's table. Get it to Dugan. She's in the backcourt. Getting worked on by Mojica. And Dugan leaves it off for, I believe, Bradford. Bounce pass to Zumbrun. Then over into the right corner, and seconds left in the first quarter, and nobody's going to get a shot off for this. Well, I take that back as Zepeda gives it the heave-ho from well more than half court at the last second, and it's an air ball, goes out of bounds. So Hobbs 16-0 at the end of the first quarter, and we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Girls Basketball. This is your District 4-5A tournament title game here. And at the end of one quarter, it is 16-0. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles leading, but they have definitely had, their moments. I mean, that score could well be almost double that had they just been firing with everything that they've got and are capable of playing. But it's understandable. I mean, they've had more than a week off. It's crazy. They've had they haven't played since a week from last night, a week ago. But here we are at the start of the second. Hobbs inbounds in front of Taskovich. Armitage has got it, gets it in. They pass it over to Mojica, and Mojica outside the arc on the left side, and the left wing pops a tray. So she's in the books, makes it 19-0. Dugan running the point for Carlsbad, coming down left side, getting worked on by Armitage. Hobbs starters all back in the game to start this second quarter. Carlsbad working it around. They get it over to Dugan in the left corner, and she tries the three-pointer, and it won't fall in. And Mojica skies for the rebound. Good rebounding. Gives it to Clay, and Clay drives in and puts it up and in from the right. She's got 5 points in the game now. And
a 21-0 run to start the ball game. I'm not sure it could go any more to script for the Lady Eagles.
Dugan brings it down, tries a no-look pass off to her right in the corner, and instead Hobbs takes it away. I think that was Clay who interrupted that, made the steal. And then gets it to Hargrove. Hargrove tries the three-pointer, and it won't fall. And the rebound actually comes down to Dugan. Dugan taking it across, passes it off. The ball almost stolen away by Armitage, who
she
ends
gets
up
pushed
on the
in the back for a problem.
She ends up on the floor, sprawled out. And it'll be Hobbs basketball. They're not going to call a foul. Yep, they will. They call it on Bradford. So that's actually her second foul.
And that'll wind up being the 15th turnover for Carlsbad.
Wow, that's amazing. Of course, Hobbs has got more than they usually have in the first quarter as well. 21-0, though. It's hard to argue with anything when you're up 21-0. And into the second quarter, they pass the ball around, get it to Cunningham in the lane. She tries a jumper from the left side, and it doesn't work. Fight for the rebound, and the whistle sounds. So they're going to call a foul on Armitage.
Yeah, Bradford got the rebound and then took off, and she and Aliana just kind of got a little bit tangled up.
So give it to Carlsbad. They'll inbound to the left of the Hobbs basket. They'll get it in, and I believe, I'm not sure.
That is Gonzalez.
That is Gonzalez now. So Gonzalez is going to run the point. That's not really typical for her. And they pass it, get to Dugan. Dugan waiting on the right blocks to try to put it up, and instead loses the handle on it. The ball's loose on the court, fight for it. Hobbs comes up with it. They pass it to Armitage. She drives, gets in the lane, and then she gets tackled.
Yeah, they've just been beaten on Aliana, and she is down, and she is not feeling good.
She just got nailed. She got sort of pushed, run into, and pushed. And it looked like, in the stomach. She got up a lot quicker from that than I would have thought. I think she's going to come out just to make sure she's okay.
I think so.
Nope.
They're going to call that one on Dugan, and they could actually very easily
call
on that call a flagrant. They
I
don't.
think so.
And so it is on the floor. But
I think Dugan is going to come off, and fresh legs come in for Carlsbad. Aliana is going to come off just to make sure she's okay. That was a hard shot and a tough fall.
Yeah, they're taking her back to the training room.
Hobbs will inbound. They'll get the ball over to Mojica, and she pops the tray from the right corner. So Mojica with two 3-pointers in the game so far makes it 24-0. Carlsbad inbounds, and Hobbs tips it, takes it away. That was Size who tipped it. Get it to Mojica and then back. They give it to Hargrove in the left corner. She tries a three. It won't fall in, and Dugan gets the rebound, her third. The ball pops up, and Clay gets it back. Clay, no room, as she's got good coverage on her in the lane. Tries to put up a shot. It won't fall, and I think it was Dugan who got the rebound. Was it Brown?
That time, yeah.
Brown got the rebound and then bounced past immediately to Dugan. And there is going to be a timeout, and this time it is a full one. So we're going to be back in 30 seconds with more Hobbs girls basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. Welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs girls basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. I'm Dawn Morgan alongside TJ Miracle and Jonathan running camera for us tonight. Out of the timeout, we're back, and the Hobbs girls are leading this one 24-0, and we're into the second quarter. And on a previous play, Armitage went down hard, and she has come off the court, and TJ, you said she was holding one of her arms and went into the training room. So we sure hope that she is not, that's not a bad injury, that she will be back. Carlsbad inbounds, bringing it down. And they're going to call Mojica for a foul, because Mojica has been guarding. They're matching up. They're putting Mojica on Dugan in the matchup with at least when the starters are out there. And she got called for the foul, but it was on the floor. Carlsbad inbounded, and then a fight for the ball as Hobbs was trying hard to disrupt it, and they do. They pass it to Clay, and Clay puts it up and in from the right side, and now she has got, 2, 4, 6, 7 points in the game.
And she goes to the line for the and one.
26-0 is your score, and they call a foul on Brown, and that's the first foul on Brown. They're going to, I believe they pull Brown, and now they're getting ready to put 3 more Carlsbad players in. Fresh legs as Dugan goes out. I believe Gonzalez goes out. Brown had already gone to the bench.
And good news, Armitage is back out on the bench now. So
well, that's good to know. And this is the second foul on Brown, the 4th team foul on Carlsbad. And the shot, nothing but net. Good job by Clay. She's 2 for 3 at the line tonight. Makes it 27-0. Carlsbad still trying to get on the board. Getting double team smothered, and a bad bounce pass is taken away by Size. And they get it to
Clay.
Clay puts it up and in. 2 more points for her. Again, unselfish play. Mojica passing. Oh, wow. And on the inbound, Mojica going for the ball and gets just she does a somersault. And then on the other end, Clay ends up on the floor. And there won't be any fouls called out of that melee and that free-for-all. There was
just out of bounds.
That's right. Just fights. The girls fighting for position, fighting for the ball, willing to put themselves out on the floor and in the way of other bodies. So Carlsbad inbounds. They get it to Dugan. Carlsbad understandably frustrated. It's 29-0. We have 4:50 left to play in the second quarter, and they have yet to get on the board. They're frustrated. They're mad. And Dugan works the ball over into the left corner, And then they're going to call the offensive foul.
On Klusner. That'll be her first personal. That'll be the third team foul in the quarter on Carlsbad. And their 21st turnover.
And it's on the floor, of course, so Hobbs will have the ball, and they will inbound and have to go all the way to the other end of the court. That is Mojica inbounding, gets it to Hargrove. Hargrove, top of the arc.
7.
7 now, okay. So I had written down 6. And Hobbs passes it to Mojica in the left corner. She puts up a shot, no good. Cunningham skies for the rebound. Her putback, no good. Now a fight for the rebound. Clay's got her hand on it. They're going to call a jump ball. And let's see if it goes the way of Carlsbad.
Yep.
No, it goes the way of Carlsbad. So I think that's what the third jump ball that we've had.
Yeah, it is.
Started off with the blue, then white, then back to blue. Carlsbad inbounds all the way down court to where Dugan catches up with it, then stops at the top of the wing or the right wing and puts up a three-pointer. It won't fall. Size with the rebound. I don't know what all the booing was about.
Yeah,
Hobbs.
Tanisha Green just absolutely clobbered Size down there. No call. That was what the booing was about.
Oh, okay.
So she got it over, and then Hobbs comes down, but then travels. Their 8th turnover.
That's right. They put up a shot. It did not fall. And Carlsbad to inbound. Still in the backcourt, trying to work it up. They give it to Dugan. Dugan now passes to Green. Green on the left wing. Hobbs has just been so quick on their transitions. Even when Carlsbad's tried to pass the ball and break their press, they've been able to get down there. A bad pass intended for Green in the lane is picked off by Size, her second steal. Size all the way over to Manise and then to Clay at the top of the arc.
Hargrove.
Hargrove. No, Clay is at the
Hargrove
top.
over there.
Yeah, but Clay, she
Yes.
passed it back to Clay at the top of the arc. And Clay got it, but then it got stolen away, and Green's got it, but now stolen right back and then pass. Yeah, they're going to call.
They're going to call a backcourt on your kid.
Wow. Oh man. And Mojica's trying to say, wait a minute, I was in the right place and it shouldn't be. But Hobbs is not going to fight about it. They're 31 points ahead, 31-0 at this point. And subs coming in as Size comes out, Hargrove comes out, and I believe Cepeda, and who else comes in? Cepeda and Manise. So give the ball to Carlsbad. They inbound at the scorer's table. They get it to Dugan. Dugan travels around. Cunningham on her. Dugan looking for room. She drives in, tries to put up a shot, and it's an air ball. Comes down to Clay. Clay fighting for it, and Dugan tied on her. Are they going to call Dugan for the?
Yeah, that'll be her second personal, and we'll walk about 80 feet down.
Clay will get to go to the line. It's still 31-0, and the seconds ticking down. 2:53, as this has just become almost ridiculous.
Hobbs has kicked it into another gear since the injury to Armitage, as they have picked up the intensity.
They're just not letting this go.
No, they are not.
Clay puts it up and in.
It's we mentioned off the air during a break a couple minutes ago. The Hobbs Lady Eagles are kind of like the Incredible Hulk, or actually Bruce Banner. You don't want to make him angry, and I think Carlsbad has.
Clay makes it 2 from the line and makes it 33-0 here with 2:53 left. Carlsbad inbounds, gets it to Dugan. Dugan bounce pass, gives it back. Carlsbad still in the back court. A bump. As I think that would have an offensive bump into Clay. And then the whistle sounds, and I think they're going to call Cepeda.
Muniz.
Muniz, okay. So Cepeda and Muniz were both over there. It's a little hard to see down there as they were right in front of the student section and the cheerleaders. But they do call it on Muniz. That's a first foul on her and the third team foul in the second quarter. So it was on the floor. Carlsbad inbounds. They work it, get it to Dugan. Dugan passes out, almost stolen away, and now it is as Mojica comes along and she moves, gives it to Clay. Clay pulls up, and from the left block puts it up and in.
Nice
2 more points. Yeah, it was a nice give and go.
Nice little fadeaway there.
And Mojica with a good assist on that. That's her second assist of the game when instead of taking the shots, passing it off. Carlsbad coming the other way. They get it to Dugan. She puts up a shot. It clanks off the front of the iron. There's a fight for it as the ball is picked up by Cepeda and taken into the lane. She puts up a shot. Oh, and it falls. And I think that's great karma, basketball karma right there, as I'm glad to see that shot by her fall. 37-0 now. A minute 48 left before the half. Carlsbad brings it down. Passing it, they get it to Dugan. Dugan now in the left corner to Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries to put up a three. It will not fall, and Dugan fighting for the rebound. Punches it. The ball goes up and out of bounds. Last touch by her, and it'll be Hobbs basketball. And like I say, Carlsbad has had their chances. They have, taken a number of shots at the basket in the first and second quarters, and they have not gotten anything to fall. Hobbs inbounds, they bring it down, get it to Clay. Clay trying to pass it back to Cepeda in the lane, and instead it's taken away. A steal by Dugan, and Dugan.
Not going to work so well with Dugan being about 3 inches taller than Cepeda down there and was just in the lane.
Dugan runs it all the way, brings it in, tries to put up a shot from the right. It will not fall, and, well, Cunningham, I thought, had the rebound, but she didn't control it. Now the ball over to the right corner, and I don't know if that was Zumbrun or Bros or Pionis, but the ball is up, no good, and the rebound brought down by Hobbs, by Clay. And a shot up from the left corner, the left wing, no good, and Dugan with the rebound.
That's her fourth rebound.
That's her fourth. That's what I've got, too. She's got a steal in the game, a couple of fouls. They bring it down, a shot up from the left corner, no good. Dugan fighting for the rebound. They're going to call a jump ball.
I think they're going to get
Kendall. No, they're going to get Kendall for the foul. I thought they were going to get a jump ball, but yeah. As Dugan had her hands on the ball first, and I think she gets credit for the rebound, and then Cunningham gets called for the foul. It's her first, and that is the fourth team foul on Hobbs in the second quarter. On the floor, Dugan inbounds, gets it to, I think, Brown. Brown tries to put up a shot from the left. It won't fall. Clay up, being physical and fighting for that rebound. Now has the ball and gets it over to Manise in the left corner, from where she often pops a tray. She tries, but it's Carlsbad with a rebound.
Zumbrun picking up the rebound, her first.
Now they pass it off, and a shot up by Carlsbad from the left corner, no good, and it looks like Manise with the rebound.
That is correct.
It's her second, leaves it off for Cepeda in the right corner. Seconds counting down. There's a shot up by Manise, and no good, but Cunningham with the rebound, and the putback is going to fall in right at the buzzer. So a rebound and a putback makes it 39, get this, 0 for Carlsbad. I don't believe I've ever seen or called a game where there were 0 points by a team at halftime, but Hobbs has shut them out so far, 39-0, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with your halftime report here. It's Hobbs girls basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Girls Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. As your halftime score is 39-0. Hobbs led at the end of the first 16-0, and then 39-0. And it's been an interesting game. Let's run down the stats for Carlsbad. They have no points on the board, but your leading rebounder so far is Abby Dugan with 5 rebounds and a steal. You've got Brown with 2 rebounds, Bradford with a rebound, Carrasco with a rebound, as TJ wrote down and reminded me, and Zumbrun with a rebound. So they also turned the ball over 26 times. For Hobbs, your leading scorer right now is Brett Clay with 14 points. She's got 3 boards to go with that. Then you've got Mojica with 6 points, a rebound, 2 assists. Then you've got Carolina Sice with 5 points, one of them a tray, 1 rebound, 2 steals. You've got Kendall Cunningham with 4 points, 7 rebounds. You've got Caitlin Manise with 2 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal. Bryn Hargrove with 3 points, it was a tray, and Aliana Armitage with 3 points in the game to go along with a sore elbow, I would imagine, as she was one of the victims of some very physical play down there with frustration running high, as you might imagine, with Carlsbad being shut out at this point. And the Hobbs girls, you might have noticed that they were up by 16 at the end of the first, but then they scored 23 points in the second quarter. Instead of taking their feet off the gas, they doubled down on Carlsbad, and I think it was partly because they were getting such bruising physical treatment, I think, on the floor, TJ.
Well, I think that is definitely a part of it. But yeah, after Armitage went down, the Lady Eagles seemed to just flip a switch and really turn it up. Yeah, they were up. They were still playing good defense. But as soon as Armitage went down, you could almost see, especially Clay, Mojica, and Cunningham go, And then all of a sudden, they had 9 turnovers in a row. They forced 9 consecutive turnovers on Carlsbad possessions. They scored on 8 of those 9, and they just said, all right, you're going to try and hurt us? We'll just run you out of our gym. And, oh, by the way, let this be a lesson to everybody else in the state. You want to try to get physical? That's fine. You get physical, we'll just run you out of the gym. 10
turnovers for Hobbs in that first half, and actually I think more than half of those came actually in that first quarter.
Yeah, 6 in the first quarter and 4 in the second.
So Hobbs again, as it's kind of like waking up the monster. Only they're a good they're our monster. They're a good monster, and they're fighting the monster. You might think, you might say they're
the girl that lives in the cave.
Exactly. The game.
We like Carlsbad, don't get us wrong.
No, exactly. 39-0, and it's not for lack of trying. I mean, Carlsbad is down there, and they have tried different things. They've put different. Coach Enlow has put a few different girls in, different configurations. They've had different people. I mean, Dugan is getting smothered, when she runs the point, and so he's given the ball, and they've tried different approaches to shoot. They've been trying to get their perimeter game. They've taken several 3-point shots, and they haven't fallen. And Hobbs, more times than not, has beaten them to the rebound and not given them a chance at second and third most of the basket Hobbs, in most cases.
Yeah, Hobbs with 15 rebounds as the team in that first half to just 10. For Carlsbad, that's really the only area of the game where Carlsbad has managed to hang, fairly close, and they've gotten some rebounds that have stopped Hobbs' offensive pushes, but a lot of times it's not till Hobbs has gotten at least 2 looks at the basket.
So we will head into the second half with a big lead for Hobbs. Of course, it's 39-0, so we'll start the second half with running clock, and the games tend to go very quickly. Carlsbad's going to come out, and the first thing they're going to want to do is, of course, score, get on the board, and try to get a couple of quick scores, 2 or 3 quick scores, to try to get it out of running clock so that the game just doesn't just completely whiz by in just a matter, of it feels like you snap your fingers twice and the game is gone once the clock starts running like that. So that's probably going to be the situation. It'll be interesting to see if we see the starters go ahead and start. I think we will. I think we'll see the starters for Hobbs start the third quarter and get the second half going. It'll be interesting to see if the bench, comes in just completely, or what happens with that, with Hobbs in the frame of mind they are in this game now. So we'll see. We're going to take another 1-minute timeout and be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. Second half coming up here on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. Welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Girls Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle and with Jonathan running camera, and we're getting ready to get the second half tipped off here as the Hobbs Lady Eagles are up 39-0 in this one.
I would think you are going to see the starters out there. Good to see Aliana Armitage back out there.
Yes, it is.
But going to see them, I would guess, until they probably stretch this one out to about 45, maybe 50. And then you'll see them again at the start of the fourth quarter. But, yeah, time for Coach Joey Carpenter, I think, to get some of the bench in. He doesn't carry just a real heavy bench, and most of them have gotten some time. We haven't seen Nevaeh Navarro yet or Katie Godwin.
Right.
But I bet we do see them coming up here in this third, maybe into the fourth quarter.
And the whistle sounds to get the third quarter underway. Hobbs rebounds in front of Taskervich. Cunningham took Armitage. Armitage running the point. Drives in, trying to pass in the lane. It's blocked. It's tipped, but she gets it back. Gets it to Clay. Clay now to Mojica. Mojica tries the three, and the trajectory on that off just a little, clanks off, and actually Dugan ends up with the rebound.
That was Bradford.
Yeah, Bradford, and then she gave it to Dugan. Sorry, and thanks for the eye.
Those darn black numbers.
I know. Dugan running the point, getting smothered, but she gives it to Bradford. Bradford tries a shot off the backboard, no good, and Cunningham with the rebound passes it down to Clay. Clay gives it to Mojica. Mojica puts it up and in. And good to see that, because that has gone the other way a couple of times in the game, and very nice to see them share that ball. Dugan running the point, puts up a little shot, and it's way off. I think she thought she would draw the foul because there was that shot was not meant to go up and in, and she
instead
does
it'll
not.
just turn into a turnover because it didn't touch anything except out of bounds.
Nobody touched her either. They give it to Armitage. She pulls up, gets it to Hargrove in the right corner. Then Bradford comes, puts a hand in her face. So she drives across, gets it to Mojica. And then Mojica travels because Mojica was going to take the three. But good defense by Carlsbad coming in to stop her, put a hand in her face. And instead she had to make the last second decision to try to move. And when she did, she slid and traveled. So a turnover for Hobbs, but they're still up 41-0. Clock is running and less than 6.5 to play in the third. Dugan with the ball on the left side, getting worked on by Clay. Dugan passes it off, I think, to Gonzalez, top of the arc.
Yes.
And moving around to the left, Cunningham on her, pokes the ball, does not steal it away. Leaves it off for Dugan. Dugan worked on by Armitage now.
And to Carlsbad credit, they're not fighting. They're still out there trying.
They are. Bradford moving it back now to, Zumbrin? And shot up from three-point range. It won't fall. Fight for the rebound, and it comes down. I think it was actually last touch by, well, they're going to say last touch
Clay.
by Hobbs, by Clay. So Dugan will inbound just to the left of their basket, and they give it to, what is that? Gonzalez. And Gonzalez puts it up and in right from the left of the basket and draws the foul at the same time. So actually Gonzalez ends up being the first Cave Girl to put Carlsbad on the scoreboard with 2 points, and draws the foul and puts it up and in. So now she's got 3 points in the game, makes it 41-3. Armitage now coming the other way for Hobbs and passes to Cunningham in the lane. Cunningham up and in, beautiful move, a nice give and go. 2 points for her and an assist for Armitage. Dugan crossing the timeline, center court.
Amazing, though, that it took Carlsbad a whole half and 2.5 minutes into the third quarter to score.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
And they pass it to Dugan. Dugan in the blocks on the left side runs out of room, getting guarded by Clay. So she kicks it to Bradford. Bradford kicks it out and around to Zumbrin on the right wing. Bounce pass back to Carlsbad, and then all the way the pass meant for Dugan over in the left corner. And it goes out of bounds, too high. So that's another turnover for Carlsbad. Is that number 28?
That is 28, yes.
Yep, okay. So Hargrove bringing it down across the timeline right side. A no-look bounce pass to Clay, almost tipped away. Ends up on the floor, saved by Clay. Gets it back out to Hargrove. Hargrove passes to Cunningham, and then to Armitage, and then back to Cunningham. She runs out of room, so she just gives it to Hargrove, who comes in the lane without any resistance and puts it up and in. Yeah, so Brent Hargrove with 2 more points.
Hargrove did a nice job seeing that lane open on the right side, and a good job by Cunningham to see her coming in to feed her with a good pass.
Yeah, an assist by Cunningham on that. 45-3, under 4 minutes left to play in the third, running clock. As Gonzalez has it, getting worked on by Cunningham, looking for room, travels in, then kicks it out, and I think was that Dugan? Bradford taking a shot. It does not fall off the backboard, and Mojica with the rebound. Brings it down, getting double teamed, so she just gives it to Cunningham. Cunningham puts it up and in from the left with an assist by Mojica. So Cunningham 2 more points and another assist from Mojica, 47-3 now.
And the hockey line change coming at the next stoppage.
That's right, as 5 fresh players for Hobbs coming in. Dugan works the ball around, going to put it up and in. Instead, she puts it up, and Mojica takes it away. No foul, no contact, but a steal, a turnover. Mojica's got it. And some booing, I think, by Hobbs. I guess they...
Yeah, I think they wanted a foul down there as it looked like Dugan bumped into Mojica. No call. It doesn't really matter when you're up by 44 points. I mean, you still need to play and call the game like it's, 0-0.
All the starters come off to a nice round of applause to the bench. Zepeda, Godwin, Manice, Size, and Navarro?
And Navarro, yep,
Cano.
number 30.
Yep, number 30, Navarro.
I
think so. Yep, it is. A shot up by Carlsbad, no good, and it's going out of bounds, and trying to save it was Navarro, but I think she stepped out of bounds, so it will be Carlsbad basketball just to the left of their own basket, so look for the quick in. They're going to try to post up Gonzalez or Dugan, and instead it gets bounced off of Navarro.
But it
bounces off of a Carlsbad player before it gets out of bounds, who I didn't really see that. There was a melee down there. So give it to Hobbs, and another turnover for Carlsbad. 2:08 left to play in the third quarter, 47-3. Size bounce pass into Navarro. Navarro, no room, so she kicks it over to Manice in the left corner, who gives it to Cepeda, top of the arc. Carlsbad saying, oh, now a fair fight. Well, think again. As Manice tries the 3 from the right corner, and then it clanks off, and there was a fight for the rebound. Lots of arms in the air. And they're going to call the foul on Abby Dugan, and that's her second foul. And first team foul for Carlsbad in this third quarter. And 2 of the players come out for Carlsbad. Dugan stays in. Zepeda inbounds to Manice. Manice drives into the right, then gives it to Size. Size pops the tray from the right wing. That's her second 3 of the game. 40, that makes it 50-3 with 1:10 left to play in this third quarter. Dugan running the point. Zepeda working on her. Passes it off. And then over to Bros, and then Bros over to not Gonzalez, but Carrasco, I think. A shot up, no good. The rebound and the putback, no good. And this time, Godwin comes down with a rebound, her first. Gives it to Cepeda. Cepeda runs in from the right, trying to put the layup up. It won't fall. And Carlsbad with the rebound and turn around. I'm not sure who that is, and I still can't tell.
That is Garcia, number 21.
All right. With the rebound, leaves it off for Dugan, and Zepeda is going to get called for the foul. She gets tripped up. She was guarding Garcia and turned.
Actually, they call it on
Garcia. Okay.
So it'll be a turnover. That's the 30th turnover now on Carlsbad.
Wow. Give it to Hobbs, and they inbound, get it to Cepeda. Cepeda walking across the timeline, passes to Size on the right wing. She's getting worked on hard. The ball almost taken away. Goes out of bounds, though. Stays Hobbs' ball.
Yeah, tried to poke it away.
And the end of the third quarter, Zepeda with a last-second shot, no good. And at the end of the third, Hobbs 50, Carlsbad 3. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Girls Basketball. This is your District 4 5A Tournament Championship, and Hobbs is up 50-3. We've been in running clock since the beginning of the third quarter when it was 39-0 at halftime. And the starters are back on the court to start this fourth and final quarter. Hobbs is showing no mercy. Well, one of the reasons is because it's going to be a week before they play again, and Coach Carpenter wants to get his starters as much action and time on the court as he can without ignoring, the rest of his girls who can score well.
Yeah.
Carlsbad inbounds, Dugan running the point, and then a bounce pass to Gonzalez right underneath the basket. Gonzalez posted up and waited and puts it up and in. So Carlsbad has 5 points now, and a whistle sounds, and there's a turnover as
travel.
It's a turnover, a travel for Hargrove, as Hargrove is called on that. So it's a turnover by Hobbs. Now, I've got that as the 12th turnover for them. Is that
13.
right? 13 now. Okay. 50-5, running clock, 7:20 left to play in this ball game. Dugan running the point, cross left side. Worked on by Clay. Passes off in the corner. Carlsbad passes around, trying to find, and they've got Gonzalez ready to post up down there. But Dugan running across the timeline, tries to put it up and in from the left. It does not work, and Hargrove with the rebound or the steal. And this time, it's kind of like, hey, okay, so you called me on the travel. I'll just prove that I know what I can do and what I'm doing. And she takes it all the way up and in from the left. Two more
nifty
points.
Little head fake to get around Klusner and just take it to the rack. Of course, Klusner had to think about Mojica that was coming up over in the right lane.
So Hobbs are really playing very well, and their starter still in with 6:40 left in this ball game. Dugan with the ball, Clay on her. She passes, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hargrove. Nope, last touch by Carlsbad. I guess Hargrove actually touched it once it was out of bounds. Hargrove puts it in. Mojica running the point, cross center line. Back to Hargrove on the right point. Now to Cunningham. Into Clay. Clay at the free throw line, thinks about the shot, then kicks it out to Armitage on the left wing. Now into Clay. Clay again, drives in. No room, has to kick it out to Mojica. Mojica has Dugan in her face in the left corner, so she kicks it to Armitage. Armitage is free, and Armitage pops the net from the left corner with a nice assist. Another assist by Mojica. Armitage with 2 trays in the game, 54-5.
Wow, they're going to say her foot was on the line.
Oh, so just a 2. All right. Still, all right. So 54-5, as even the scoreboard here briefly said 55. And they get it to Gonzalez. Drives in. No room. And there's a 3-point shot up from the top of the arc, no good. Dugan with the rebound and the putback, no good. Dugan gets her own rebound and comes down. Putback, no good. Cunningham with a rebound. 7, 8, I guess 9 for Cunningham, I believe.
That is.
They pass it, bring it down, and give it to Mojica in the left corner. She tries to put up the 3. It will not fall. Hargrove with the rebound.
And then she got bumped for a problem, but saved the ball. Nice job.
Saved the ball. Then they get it to Cunningham. A turnaround jumper, so beautiful. It does not fall. It goes in and out, and that was Gonzalez with the rebound. She gives it to Dugan, 54-5. Less than 5 minutes to play in this one. Running clock. It will not take long to finish this game. And they're going to get Cunningham with a foul. She was right behind.
Tic-tac.
Yep, she was right behind Gonzalez. And Gonzalez, they were passing it around. And they're going to get Cunningham for her 3rd foul. And she'll come out as Coach Carpenter finally says, okay, 4.5 minutes left in the game, running clock. We're up 54-5. And he puts his bench in, which the bench players are very good.
The bench would be starters for most teams.
Exactly. They're very good, and they're accustomed to playing well. And they're going to call Manise, I think, with a foul as she reaches out.
No, I think they're going to call.
What are they going to call? It stays Carlsbad basketball. I think.
I think maybe something went on the floor.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay. So they just cleaned up the floor. Oh, a bump foul again. So get Cepeda for bumping into Green.
And the Hobbs faithful kind of booing that one. And you're up by 49.
Yeah, so first foul on her, or second foul on her, rather. Carlsbad with the ball. And they driving in. They give it to Brown. Brown puts it up and in from the left. And so Carlsbad has 7 points in the game. 54-7 now. They bring it down. Manise on the left wing. Passes over to Navarro. Navarro almost loses the handle on it. Gets it back, though. Gives it to Size. Size over to Manise. Manise popping the tray from the left wing. Yes. Up and in. That's her third three-pointer in this game. No, that's actually her first three-pointer. I was looking up at Size. She's got a three. Manise, that's her first three of the game. 57-7. 3 minutes left in this one. Hobbs is ahead. They get it to Brown. Brown kicks it back out. Three-point attempt up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and coming up with it is going to be Size. But Size has to send it. She's getting guarded very closely, so she bounce passes, and it ends up going out of bounds right into the Carlsbad visitors'
Brown
stands.
got a hand on that one and helped a little bit, and Size trying to save it, just touched it last.
Carlsbad will inbound, and they get it to Brown in the lane, and she goes up and tries a layup, up no good, but they're going to get Godwin for the foul. As Godwin was guarding her, she knew Godwin matching up with Brown as they're trying to get Brown to post up, just handle the passes and put it up and in. So they get Godwin for the foul, and Brown puts it up and in. And she has 3 points in the game for Carlsbad, almost half of their points on the board. And they'll get another chance at it here. 57-8, less than 2 minutes running clock. Clock doesn't stop for the free throws. And it's up and in, although the whistle sounds.
Lane violation, so it doesn't count.
Aha. So it doesn't count as a miss. It's as if it never happened. Hobbs with the ball. Zepeda running the point. Gives it to Manise. Manise getting worked on. Gets it all the way to Size. Size in the right wing. Quickly gets two players in her face. They know, or Size can pop the three, so she gets it back. Manise getting worked on, bumped on. It's all right. She takes it, gives it to Size. Size does get the handle taken away. Size in that leg brace cannot move quite as easily as she might like. But good hustle by Carlsbad. They took the ball away. They pass it around and get it to Brown again, who posted up in the lane. She's got 2 more points. 57-10. Zepeda over to Navarro. Navarro drives in. No room. Gets it to Zepeda. Zepeda tries to pop a three. Fight for the rebound, and Godwin's got it. But the putback no good, and then Carlsbad with the rebound and a loose ball on the floor. Zepeda had it briefly. Then it's picked up by Brown, and now Carlsbad's got it.
And over on the sideline, Kaylee Connell's like, hey, can we stop the action for a second so I can come in?
Brown had it and was going up to try to put the ball up right in front as she had posted up, and it does not go, but she is fouled. And 20 seconds with the clock running. She may get one shot off. That's it, and it goes up and in. And she may get a second one. Makes it 57-11 now as Navarro comes out, and who is that? Kylie Kano goes in. She'll be in the blocks to rebound for Hobbs, and time runs out. So your final score is 57-11. Hobbs winning this one over Carlsbad. 57-11, your final score, and we'll be back to wrap this one up. We don't know if we will get to talk with Coach Carpenter or not. We hope that he'll come up, and if so, we will have a visit with him. But we'll be back to give your game stats at the very end with more Hobbs girls basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. And welcome back to Tasker Arena, where your Hobbs Lady Eagles have just won the District 4-5A tournament with a score of 57-11 over Carlsbad. Carlsbad scoring all 11 of their points in the second half. And they just...
most three-pointers by a Hobbs Eagle.
So they are doing some recognition. Most three-pointers by any Hobbs Lady Eagle in the history of the team, Nakaya Mojica. And she had, how many was it, 100 and...
I didn't
hear the number of points.
She had more tonight, though, so she had two more tonight.
She added to it, so Nakaya Mojica, pretty impressive display. And the all-tournament team was announced, and the Hobbs girls on that, Aliana Armitage was named to the second team, and Jasmine Gonzalez Carlsbad was named to the second team. 45-3. Nakaya Mojica.
And a whole bunch last year, too. So
that's right. Wow. So pretty impressive. She has definitely been the queen of the three-pointers for Hobbs girls, not just this year, but in her history with the team. Pretty impressive. The all-tournament team, first team, included Mojica, along with Bryn Hargrove and Kendall Cunningham, and Sarai Lewis of Clovis, and Abby Dugan of Carlsbad. Your most valuable player for the tournament, though, Brett Clay of Hobbs. And running down your stats, as I got my head together with TJ, relying on my record keeping along with his. So running down Carlsbad really quickly, and then Hobbs. Carlsbad scorers, your leading scorer was Brown with 6. Sorry about that, Jonathan. Jonathan's trying to help our compatriots get unplugged over there. So 6 points from Brown, 2 rebounds from her. Then Gonzalez with 5 points and 2 rebounds for Carlsbad. And then you had 7 rebounds for Abby Dugan, who did not get in the books with any scores in the game tonight. You had a rebound from Zumbrun, 1 for Carrasco, 1 for Garcia, 2 rebounds for Bradford, and then, of course, Gonzalez with the 5 points and the 2 rebounds. So coming over to Hobbs, as far as points and rebounds, your leading scorer was Brett Clay with 14 points. She had 3 rebounds to go with that. And then we go over to some pretty even scoring across the books. But Mojica had 8 points in the game tonight. 2 of those were trays. She had 3 rebounds and 4 assists in the game as well. Also scoring 8 points was Kendall Cunningham with 9 rebounds to go with that. And scoring 8 points as well, Carolina Size. 2 of those were trays. She had a couple of rebounds and 2 assists to go with that. And then you had 7 points from Bryn Hargrove and 2 rebounds. Aliana Armitage with 5 points and an assist. Zepeda with 2 points, a rebound, and a steal. You had, let's see, and then Muniz. Coming down, and then Muniz with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal. And one of those was a tray. And then Godwin had 2 rebounds. And so just about every girl on the team who was here tonight suited out, played at least for some of the game. Even Kylie Cano got in toward the end, and Nevaeh Navarro also playing some minutes along with Godwin. And then, of course, Muniz is seeing much more time, and in relief off of the bench as usual. So it was a good night. And, of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles with a tune-up for what is going to be a week off, and then they will host the first-round playoff game. We'll have to wait till all the seedings are announced officially tomorrow evening
tomorrow
by the
evening
NMAA.
5 o'clock. They will announce the number 1 seeds, I believe, at 3 or 3:30. Hobbs should be the number 1 seed, and most likely they'll either take on Alamogordo, Roswell, Las Cruces, or Las Lunas. That's the teams that are kind of right down there where it is as Coach Joey Carpenter makes its way up. Of course, going to be important not to overlook any of those teams when you get into the top 7 or 8 up at the state tournament when you get there with, of course, Hobbs, Farmington, Sandia, Volcano Vista, El Dorado, Mayfield, La Cueva, and Clovis, all potentials there.
As we welcome in head coach Joey Carpenter. Thank you for coming up. That actually gave us time to kind of watch what was going on with the with the presentations and announcements there after the game, Coach Carpenter, and congratulations, to the Lady Eagles making all tournament teams, the MVP Clay, and of course with the special presentation to Mojica for her three-pointers. It was a bad night to be a cave girl and a good night to be a Lady Eagle. Tell us why, Coach Carpenter.
Well, I thought we got off to a sluggish start. It took us a while to get on the scoreboard, but once we did, it came in bunches, and I think that helped us a lot. And so, obviously we played a lot of man-to-man defense tonight. We're trying to fine-tune that before the state tournament, and we want to be 50-50 if we can. We want to be able to run zone and man.
We did notice that there was no Jaylee David tonight. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, she's sick. She's under the weather.
Okay.
She's missed the last 2 practices, and I talked to her dad, and he said it's probably best she stay home. And I said I agree, because we're so close to state. We just don't need to have any of that running through the team.
Exactly. And you want everybody really healthy. You want 100% for the winner or stay home game next Friday night. And we were just talking about the likely scenarios. It's likely you guys will be seeded first and face one of probably 3 or 4 teams that TJ was looking at and talking about. What's your mindset now? You got a week off going into that game. That's got to be 100% because you got to move on into Albuquerque. You got to win that game Friday night. So what do you do in the meantime, Coach?
Well, you're going to have to. What will happen is tomorrow at 5 o'clock we'll find out who we're playing. Then we'll try to get game film on our opponent, and then we'll try to break that down and look at it, and then we'll fine tune things. I'm not one of those coaches that makes the kids worry so much about what other people do. Once I figure out what they're going to try to do, then we try to make sure that we can do our best to attack it. Okay. And so we worry about ourselves more than we worry about our opponents.
Okay.
Well,
sounds
and
like
that's important. Do you have a preference with that 3 or 4 teams that it's probably going to be?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be Cruces or maybe Alamogordo. I don't know. They're 16 on max prep, so. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, in detail.
Sure.
And I've learned never, ever try and second-guess the NMAA.
Yeah. You just, when you think that you're going to play this so-and-so, then you're going to play someone else.
Right.
So.
Just kind of defeats the purpose. You don't want to get locked in until you know for sure exactly who it's going to be. And as you said, you really concentrate on what you guys are doing and need to do, your execution as a team and playing your plan, as well as just knowing who to watch out for and what style of play your opponent's going to have. So you'll be able to have some time to be able to do that and work on that. Just no game between now and then.
Right.
But it's nice that this was not your last game for the season here in Tasker Arena. That'll come next Friday.
Right.
Yeah. How they feel tonight, though, after all is said and done?
Well, we swept through our district pretty handily. I feel good where we're at right now. I don't like the fact that we were playing 1 game a week, and I don't like the fact that we didn't get challenged in district very much. And so there are some concerns, but it is what it is. We did everything that we could do, in our control, and that's all you can do as a team.
Is that why you played your starters a good portion of tonight, even after you were way ahead, just to try to give them as much time on the court as you could in light of a week off last week and a week off till you play again?
There's a thin line between disrespecting your opponent and getting your team ready for the state tournament.
Yeah.
And so we tried to balance that out tonight. Hopefully Carlsbad respected that. We can't play our kids 6, 8, 10 minutes a game and then go up to state and expect them to play 20-something minutes.
That's right.
So you gotta find a way to be respectful and still try to get things accomplished.
I think if the shoe were on the other foot, Carlsbad would do the same.
Yeah.
So a coach would say that, well, you got to take care of your team and your players first, before you worry about that. But, hey, 57-11, a victory, what is it, the 24th, I think, of this season? Or 24 and 3 now. And, of course, going into the game next Friday, we'll be here with it and for it. Any final thoughts about this game or about what's going on in the future or anything to comment on at this point?
No, just look it up. I think it's on the nmact.org website when the selection seating show. It'll be at 5 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So at 5 o'clock, we'll pretty much 5:30 in that range. We'll know who we're playing and what we're doing, and and then we'll try to make plans, and hopefully we can take it one game at a time and find our way in Albuquerque.
All right. We certainly hope so, too. Good luck with that. Thank you very much.
Right,
it's a
thank
privilege always talking with you. We appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's going to pretty much wrap it up. Thank you again, Jonathan, running
Coach.
camera, getting it for us. And thank you very much, Coach. And TJ Miracle, we didn't talk about the final numbers on the rebounds or turnovers or anything else you want to talk about before we end the broadcast?
Just a dominating performance, and looking forward to next week. And we get the playoffs underway, as Coach Carpenter mentioned, 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon when the full seedings will start being released. They usually release the number 1 seeds about an hour and a half or so before that.
Okay.
So there's no question Hobbs is in. The only question will be, are they the 1 or the 2?
Right.
And
who do they play?
And they should be the number 1, and then we'll find out who they play, and you'll have the full report on Monday morning.
And of course, it concerns not just Hobbs. It's all of this concerns all of Lee County, all the teams across the state.
Speaking of Lee County,
and
we
can
have an update for you.
Good deal.
From the other championship game going on tonight in the 4 2A boys championship. Eunice knocked off Jal 53-40 tonight, and so Eunice winning the regular season and the district tournament title. Now, there's a pretty good chance, and of course, all the playoffs, announced tomorrow for all the classifications. I would bet Eunice probably plays Jal again in the first round, but we'll wait and see about that tomorrow.
All right, so that'll do it. Thank you very much again. Thanks to Tiff Stuber for producing and engineering. We appreciate the help. Thanks to Jonathan running camera. We'll see you next Friday as well, Jonathan Wright. Thank you. Happy to that. And on behalf of TJ Miracle, I'm Dawn Morgan, and we're saying so long. Good night again. Lady Eagles winning the district tournament championship here. And we'll be back with more Lady Eagle basketball next Friday right here from Tasker Arena. And we'll have to see. I guess we'll be on Hobbs Sports YouTube that night. Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5. Good night.